Greetings, everyone. I don't know how. Anyway, hey, Balance, how you doing? Hey, little baby. What do you want? What do you want? All right. My name is Cassandra Floyd. This light looks like way brighter than usual. Yeah. What's up with that? That was like way brighter than usual. Okay. All right. My name is Cassandra Floyd, also known as the daughter of the Fates, founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. It's been a week. It's been a week since I did a live. I dumped a bunch of clips today, but actually having done a live, it's been a week. So I decided today was going to be the day that I do another live. This light is so weird today. What is up with that? Anyway, I don't know what's going on with this light. And anyway, yes. So this is what I have decided. I think it's just my eyes. Oh, anyway. All right. So I'm up in here. We up in here. Outside with fire. All right. All right. Okay. So I hope everybody is well. I like that clip you uploaded about Black women never being cult leaders. I never thought about it, but it's so true. You understand? Okay. And I was always trying, to ponder like why that was. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's the reason. Why are you fighting my feet, man? God. Ooh, stop. Hold on. Little tyrant. Hold on. Come here, you little tyrant. Come here. Come here. So I got new friends since the last time I saw y'all. I haven't named him yet, but this is one of my little friends. He's a little cute. Look how cute he is. Oh, he's so squishy. Yes. This is the little love nugget. He just wanna lay up on me all day or fight my feet. His sister, though, is much smaller and way more rambunctious. I know he's so cute. Yes. Where you at? Come here, girl. Come here, girl. Come here, girl. Told y'all she way more rambunctious. Look at her little baby self. Ooh, she's so cute. Look at her little baby self. Look at her little baby self. Hey, baby. Yes, but she don't want to be held. See how she's wiggling? She's like, I'm off to explore. He is a love nugget. He is a lap kitty. Yes, he is. You squishy self. You ready to go get your sister? Anyway, child, let me tell you. They cute as the day is long and been running me regularly. I was like, oh, kittens. They'll keep each other company while I'm gone. This has been a whole job. I forgot. It's been a whole job having two little bitty things running around the place. All black. She doesn't like. Yeah, she is like, child. She got a whole attitude. She cute as she want to be, and let me tell you, she won't let me hold her much. But as soon as I get still, the first place she's trying to be is right on, literally laying on top of my foot. She just want to lay on my foot. If I go to pet her while she on my foot, she don't want no part of it. But every single time I sit down on that couch, that's where she gonna post up. It's right on top of my foot. And she'll literally go to sleep there, right on top of my foot, her little cute self. Anyway, so some of you saw on Facebook I posted. So just we'll start with some little updates and stuff. But I posted on Facebook this week. I started taking sitar lessons a year ago, but like really taking lessons in February of this year. Like I was fooling around for a long time. I had the instrument in here. Every now and again I'd take it out or whatever, but like really practicing, really taking lessons since February. So this Thursday, I have my first performance on the sitar. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm kind of nervous. I'll be honest. And do not judge me. But what I'm gonna do, since I like y'all, is I'm gonna have a friend of mine live stream it for me through my YouTube channel. So cross fingers, wish me luck. So that's happening Thursday. You're welcome, Balance. I know it's impossible to be in a bad mood when you got squishy little cuddly things running all over the place. It has really lightened the mood in my crib, I'll be honest. They crazy. I mean, it's like they just like kids. They'll run around, roll around in a ball for a solid 30 minutes and then sleep for an hour. And then get up again, eat a little bit, roll around in a ball, run all over the place, pew, 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 run into each other, right? Do that for about 30, 45 minutes, crash again. That's all they do all day is roll around at top speed, feel me? Crash. Roll around at top speed, crash, eat, poop. That's all they do. Every now and again, they'll come and snuggle on me. But anyway, so that's that. Am I on here? Oh, all this time I thought I was. Am I live? Ooh, I'm not. Okay, so they ain't missed nothing. My phone acting janky anyway. Let me tell y'all something while I'm bitching about my phone. I'm convinced. I'm gonna have to do the introduction again because I thought I was live on IG. This is Cassandra Faye Floyd, also known as the daughter of the Fates, founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. It's been a week and I'm back at your ass with a live for the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. So getting back to what I was saying. This phone, man. This phone isn't even a year old, y'all. Why they do that? Why they deliberately sabotage your shit so you ain't got no choice but to get another phone? You know what I'm saying? I got an attitude. Because my phone has been acting like old school dial-up internet for about the last 2 weeks, literally. Like to send a text, I'm sitting there waiting. Like this. For it to go through. You feel me? And I'm like, I don't want to get a new phone. I've done all the updates. I've done all the shit. And it's just not working. Like, I've never dropped it, never put it in water, dropped it in water or anything like that. I was like, these motherfuckers. Anyway, I digress. So anyway, I spent a long time today. That's why I don't do it often, because y'all will see on my YouTube channel, I did a lot of shorts today. I say a lot, but it was like six shorts, maybe 7 shorts today. Y'all see, I don't do it often because it took up most of my day, like most of my day. And the only reason I did shorts today was in the storage in my StreamYard. I don't have any space left. So I posted that I was going to do this freaking live. And I was like, shit, I ain't got no storage left, no storage space left. So I got to delete something off StreamYard before I can do another StreamYard. But I don't like to delete anything until I can see if there's any, bite-worthy clips in it. Because once I delete it off StreamYard, the whole editing process is much more of a pain in the ass, right? So I was like, let me sit here and look through this, and that shit took, I don't know, 6 hours sitting in front of this computer. I'm not joking. Sitting in front of this computer, looking for sound bites from a video just so I could delete it. Anyway, so I did that today. And while I was doing that, let's see. Yeah, but you know what, Balance? I feel you. You know what I'm saying? But, I can count on one hand, and I'm not joking. I can count on one hand in the last 24 years how many cell phones I've had. The last one that I had, greetings, Janet. The last, greetings, Tajali, Nikki. The last one that I had, the last cell phone that I had that phone 8 years, I think. 8 years. I had this longer than that. 12 years. I got that phone in 2012. Yeah, 12 years I had the last phone. You feel me? I'm be trying to get rid of phones. One, because again, I told y'all I try as hard as I can to be very conscious about how I spend money. And I'm talking about politically. I am very aware that our affinity for the newest, latest model of the newest modeled phone is directly impacting and contributing to the suffering of Black people, of Black skinned people in the Congo. And as soon as I learned that, I made a conscious decision. I would not be, quote, upgrading every freaking 6 months to a year. You feel me? None of that shit. That if it works, if it does what I needed to do, even with this phone, my phone started acting up, I guess, around 3 weeks ago or so. I was like, okay, I have to dump everything off the phone, and I'll only use my cell phone for text, phone calls, sometimes emails. But everything else I'll just do from the laptop when I get to the house. And even that, like today, the phone has been on my absolute last nerve. I'm like, I'm not getting another phone, so I have to figure it out. You feel me? But so I try to be really deliberate, especially when it's stuff like that where I know directly. Like me and my homeboy went to a crystal shop yesterday, like a wholesale crystal shop. He was in town from San Diego, and he's a massage therapist, but he also makes jewelry. And he was like, I need to go get some crystals. So I went with him. And he was like, oh, look at this crystal, the rose quartz. And I was like, oh, that's nice, but I don't buy no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And then I explained to him, like I did y'all, like once I found out, I need to know where these stones are harvested from, where they come from, and what are the conditions of the human beings made to dig these crystals, right? And so we stayed in there a little bit more time than I'm sure he had bargained for, because every single crystal, the first thing I'm doing in this man's shop is Googling where this rock came from, where it be harvested from, is slavery attached to the harvesting of this crystal? You feel me? Even the dude behind the counter, he's like, what are you doing? I was like, my due diligence. That's what I'm doing. You feel me? So that's why I can't get a new phone. I haven't, as a matter of fact, it will be exactly a year next month since I've had this phone to be having these kind of problems with this. I went on about that longer than I intended to, but I have had an attitude for 3 weeks about this phone. Anyway, so I didn't know, and y'all know this is my disclaimer. I make it all the time. I'm gonna put some shit in the description after, I close this out. But I was listening to this astrologer. Oh wow, I didn't know that, Chloe. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to check that out. Because I was like, I've never had a phone act this way. And I'm one who I'm like, I'll never get an iPhone because they really be with that bullshit. You feel me? And so I was like, I'm sticking with an Android. Yeah, I don't get the kind of pictures I like, but like Apple be really, really with the bullshit, right? Trying to get you to constantly upgrade, so they slow your shit down. I never had that kind of problem with an Android, and this is an Android. I'm like, fuck, you feel me? So anyway, now I have to check that out. But anyway, so I was listening to an astrologer today. I listen to her every now and again. Her videos are good, but they're so long that sometimes, and they're just very matter of fact. So like the other guys I was telling you about from Astrology Report, I can watch a 3-hour video of theirs because it's like deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't just talking about the actual astrology and the alignment and shit like that and what it'll mean for you as an individual. They go like, this is the history of this movement, the last time this movement happened, you know, there was a meteor shower that killed 1 million people. They go into this deep, thorough, deep dive into the energetic significance of any movement. This woman whose astrological update for the week that I watched, I don't watch her often, but I'm always impressed when I do. But hers is very, it's very matter of fact in terms of like, she'll do a breakdown of each sign, right? So it's like that kind of, it's like more practical astrology she is. But today I was just listening as I was cleaning the house, getting ready for a client. And I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to re-listen to this when I can pay attention, because I didn't know I had, like, I'll be honest, I haven't been on here in a week. So I haven't been studying. I haven't been like, you know, I do when I come on here, I got a lot of notes for y'all. You feel me? I'm sitting up in wormholes trying to get, you know, the essence of a thing so I can talk to you about it or whatever. I haven't done anything like that. I told y'all last week, the last live I did. I ain't pushing. I ain't studying. I'm not, if it ain't easy, I'm not doing it. I need a week. I need a minute. You feel me? So today was the first day, even in a week, I picked up a pen and a piece of paper. You feel me? But this week, apparently, and I wouldn't have known had she not automatically come on in my rotation. Apparently, this week is one that we need to be preparing for. Greetings, Shauna Michelle. Apparently, starting today, as a matter of fact, this is a week well worth investing some study into and some deliberate action into and some you know, diligent planning, thoughtful planning. This is that week. Apparently she broke it down, you feel me? So I'm gonna, when I get done with this and I'll edit it, I'll put her YouTube channel in the link, but her name is Lori Lothian, and the name of her YouTube channel is Lunatic Astrology. Let me just type that in the comments. It is Lori Lothian at Lunatic Astrology on YouTube. Okay, so that is her, and the name of this video that she did is called First in a Lifetime. I'm saying it out loud for the people tuning in through IG. First in a Lifetime, Jupiter, Pluto, Aquarian air trine. Right? So she's saying that this is the first time in anybody alive. It's the first time in our lifetime that this particular trine is occurring, and that is occurring this week. And the impact, and then some other big movements. So that's the big thing, is the Jupiter, Pluto, Aquarian air trine, and also on the same day that trine begins, right? Another significant movement is Mercury goes conjunct with Uranus on Thursday. You feel me? And then all of this is happening within the context of let's see where it's at. Jupiter is also trine. Okay, yeah. So that's the whole thing. It's the Jupiter, Pluto, Aquarian air trine. Mercury conjuncts Uranus on the same day, and then there are 3 asteroids in play as well, because she talks about the asteroids impacts on astrology as well, and that is Phaetos, I forget his name, Pan, and Icarus. I didn't have time to study for, you know, this particular thing, but when she told the story of Icarus, And maybe somebody can Google it real quick. It probably won't be something you can Google real quick. But when she told the story, the Greek story of Icarus, about how he was going to Olympus, I guess, and one of the deities made him these shiesty wings, and then he in the wings, and he was like going to Mount Olympus or some shit, and then he was falling back on Earth, and when he was falling back on Earth, he got uh he got too close to the sun, and it melted his wings, right? Well, that story reminded me a lot of the story about Oshun as the peacock, and she was trying to go to Olorun for something. I forget what for, but she was trying to go to Olorun with these peacock wings, right? And something had happened. Somebody can correct me because I don't know the whole story, but it instantly reminded me of that. And so she's this beautiful peacock, and she's trying to go to Olorun, or she goes to Olorun for something, and she gets too close to the sun, and it burns the wings of the peacock so bad that the peacock looked like or became a vulture or something like that. Somebody can correct me on that. But that's what it sounded like, right? So I was like, damn, maybe I need to read the story of Icarus and cross it against the Odu about the vulture, the what do they call it? The apoteki of Oshun becoming the vulture or something like that. Anyway, so that had happened. So it's Icarus, it's Pan, and it's Hephaestus or Hephaestus. And Hephaestus was apparently the one. Also interesting, you feel me? Because Hephaestus is the one who would make the weapons of the gods. And particularly, he was the one who was responsible for crafting Thor's lightning bolts. You feel me? When Thor would go into battle and be like, whoosh, whoosh, throwing fucking lightning everywhere. You feel me? Not Thor. What's his name? Zeus. He fashioned Zeus's lightning bolts, right? So, and then he also made, this is interesting, he also was the forge smith who forged the magical girdle of Venus. So crossing it needs to be a work that's done. I haven't seen it. It may exist, but like a straight just cross reference. I looked up Icarus. Netflix has a documentary with the same name. Seems hella interesting. Okay, noting that. So the reason I mention it is because one of the million and one ideas that I have, you feel me, is to do a cross reference, like an actual kind of encyclopedia. Like we always talk about how we have to read or update the Women's Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets, since in 83, maybe they just didn't know or whatever. They didn't include any of the African mythology in the Women's Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets. So African women need to take up the mantle to try to like update the book or whatever. One is like doing that style, like an encyclopedic style cross-reference of every mythological / spiritual story from the different major cultures to see where they are similar. Because as soon as she started talking about the mythology around these astrological characters, I was like, okay, yep, that's Shango. Oh shit, that's okay. That's Oshun. Okay, won't, right? Anyway, I won't digress too long. But anyway, so yes. Now, the one interesting thing that this woman Lori Lothian mentions, because she is very careful about what she talks about when she does. So she apparently, because she's been on here a long time, apparently she's got a lot of trolls and people be trying to sabotage, her shit. And so she's very, very careful about what she talks about and how she talks about these things on her astrology channel. And so one of the things she talks about in the story of Icarus, it says his wings melted because he flew too close to the sun. And she said, when I did this live, I didn't think it was going to be, because Icarus usually is this asteroid, Icarus, usually is associated with the fall of a leader, right? She said, I didn't know she did the live on May 20th. She said, I didn't know that this astrological occurrence was going to be that literal. And I heard about it for a second and nobody else is talking about it, which is really fascinating to me. But she said, she said she couldn't believe how literal it was, because you remember that same week of May 20th, Icarus falling from the sky, right? That same week was the week that the president of Iran died in a helicopter crash. That was the same week. This fall of a leader, a literal fall out of the sky in a quote winged apparatus that supposedly malfunctioned, right? But she's like, this is how the astrology can unfold. It can be very, very literal, extremely literal. Like the same week that I do this live, this guy dies in a helicopter crash, falls out of the sky, and in a helicopter crash, the president of an entire country, right? So anyway, I thought that was fascinating. So hey, Annie, what's up? So let's see. So some of the big takeaways, I'm just going to go through this quick. Some of the big takeaways about let's see, about this week that she was saying. I'm just going to give y'all a very short cliff notes. You feel me? And then if you want, okay. Y'all who putting stuff up in here for me to check out, make sure you email me this stuff, because it's easy. Like it is, because I typically will watch whatever it is y'all suggesting, but I be having to go back through my comments through the lives and see where y'all was saying shit at. Yes, show me here so other people can see. But still, like this comment about the Netflix documentary and the Joseph Campbell thing, email those to me so I can have them in a localized place and watch them later. Okay, so if you are interested, I put in the comment section her YouTube channel and the name of this particular video that I watched today. Okay, so just to reiterate that, those who are listening from IG, the astrologer's name is Lori, Lori, Lothian, Lothian. The name of her YouTube channel is @Lunatic Astrology. And the name of the video is First in a Lifetime Jupiter, Pluto, Aquarian Triune, air triune. Okay, big takeaways. The Mercury and Uranus conjunction. Mercury is a Legba / a shoe. Uranus is Shango, right? This is happening this Thursday along with the Grand Triune. And this, she did this whole little thing where she talks about the Matrix movie, and how it's interesting because she talks about that scene when Morpheus talks about how you've been aware of this splinter in your mind driving you crazy, but you didn't know what it was, but you knew it was there, right? And she mentioned that scene because she said that splinter in your mind that makes this like foggy and like you can't quite get to what it is, but you're always aware that there's something wrong with the world. There's something wrong, She said this Mercury conjunct Uranus on Thursday, just like, because this is Shango, okay? Uranus is Shango. Am I right? Yeah, Uranus is Shango. It literally will represent, because Mercury is about communication, right? And Uranus is about shock and awe, right? And she said there's going to be some kind of divine message, whether it's going to be through news or email or personal intervention or whatever. There's going to be some kind of divine intervention that is going to be so shocking around Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, but look for it more on Thursday, that it will literally function like a lightning bolt, clearing out the haze so that you can have, what did she call it? Extreme clarity. She said of this energy of Mercury conjunct Uranus that if there's any major problem you have not been certain on how to solve, you've thought about it, and you just couldn't get quite to the place where you could figure it out, meditate on this problem, because Thursday, and she said, pay attention to your dreams, right? But she said Thursday is the prime opportunity to get the divine clarity that you need to solve this problem that you have not been able to solve, right? That's the main takeaway for that particular movement, is the ability to solve problems, the ability to clear the noise of the matrix. That's what she said, to clear the noise of the matrix, right? And to look for, whether it's in the news, personal communication, some kind of communication, news, email, something is going to come to you as information, Mercury, that is going to strike like lightning, Uranus, to give you crystal clear clarity on how to solve problems. Okay, boom. Next thing. The impact of this triune, she talked about a lot. This impact of this triune, Jupiter, the Jupiter, Pluto, Aquarian ear triune, has not happened. No, yeah. Okay. So the thing that makes it, so the last time the Jupiter, Pluto, Aquarian ear trine happened was 248 years ago. The aspect of it that makes it a first in a lifetime occurrence is that Jupiter, Pluto, Aquarian air triune is happening in Gemini, which is also an air sign. So you've got all this big giant air energy. You feel me? But what makes it the first ever in a lifetime, anybody's lifetime, is the fact that trine is actually occurring in Gemini. She's saying this is huge, and it's so impactful that it is going to have a very real and present impact on our life until June 9th of 2025. So that energy of this trine, which is, she called the subtitle for this video that she did, faith that can move mountains. Faith that can move mountains. That was the whole opening. This thing that is happening, the first of its type ever, this Jupiter, Pluto, Aquarian ear trine happening in Gemini for the first time ever, right? Gives us the faith to move mountains. She's like, if you try, and she said, and I'm going to read like the bullet notes that I took, but she said, if you're trying to pull a jack move of any kind, this week is the week to power up. Now, of course, I'm paraphrasing, but if you're trying to pull a jack move, have faith, because the faith that you have in this week can move mountains, right? And so let's see. So she said, of this energy, right? She also talked about the Mercury. There's another conjunction, this Mercury and Saturn conjunction that is happening. That's also happening this week, right? So there's a lot of big shit happening. But this Saturn Mercury conjunction happening in Pisces. Mercury is the idea, Saturn is the form and structure. And also because it's in Pisces, she says this energy is a representation of the coming together of earth and water. She said, so this is really about taking radical ideas and giving them form, giving them structure. And she said, so it might be something that is more particular, because she also talked about this guy that fashions the weapons of the gods, and how it may be a representation of needing to Harness your more artisan skills, like actually putting your hands on something and transforming it and shaping it in your home in a way that can, give you maybe an alternative stream of income or whatever, or give you a bigger idea about something else. She specifically mentioned the things that are really important in that energy, the Mercury and Saturn, the Mercury and conjunct Saturn and Pisces energy is like actually using clay, actually using mud, actually shaping pottery or something like that. I thought that was dope personally. Anyway, faith that can move mountains. Okay. And then she said, let's see. Transition from decay to fertilizer, beneficial destruction, heavy experiences, positive outcomes, good from chaos. Let's see. She said another thing that's really important about this week is to think outside the box. Like she said, this is really, really enormous energy with really enormous potential, and the potential is benevolent. She's like, this is a really benevolent series of conjunctions within the context of this this Jupiter, Pluto, Aquarian air trine. So she said, like, for example, she talked about this star, the fixed star Altair, which is also known as the Eye of the Eagle, or alternatively, the military star, which is a symbol of conquest. It's about war. It's a symbol of conquest, victory, and winning. She said, but because it's happening within the context of this Jupiter trine Pluto, it really takes that idea of conquest, victory, and winning, partnered with faith, idealism, and big moves guided by faith. It takes it from a place of like more the aggressive idea of the eye of the eagle into a place where like maybe those on the other side can win something, can make big moves, right? So that's the energy that we need to be thinking about, whether it's in our personal life or whether it's in these aggressions, these multiple aggressions that are happening around the world. This is a really good, astrological movement for something to happen in the victims, to happen in their favor. And so she even talked about, without saying names, she talked about the announcement, I guess that came maybe a week ago, almost 2 weeks ago, about the international warrants that are being issued for certain leaders who are involved, right? That are involved in these aggressions against people around the world, right? And then she also talked about that same movement, this Jupiter trine with the Altair fixed star. This is the kind of energy that that yields upward surges. And what she talked about in upward surges is like, so it's interesting because outside of this thing, I was reading something else. Oh, I was doing the shorts from one of the lives that I did, and one of the things that kept coming up in the short was about I was saying there are periods of time where light work is the necessary strategy, and then there are other periods of time where dark work, where work done in secret, work done in the dark, being able to embrace the dark is the only appropriate strategy for whatever it is that's happening. I talk to you guys about this a lot, where I talk about how if we live in the age of the desert, the last thing that we need to be praying for is more goddamn light. The last thing we need to be praying for is the sunrise. You feel? The last thing we need to be praying for is more light, right? And so when she talks about these upward surges of energy, she says, quote, this energy represents the transition from decay to fertilizer. Beneficial destruction is what this energy represents. Heavy experiences with positive outcomes and the good that emerges from chaos. Do you understand? It's really, I was looking up the etymology for the word. What was it? What word was I looking up? Was it enlightenment? I think it was enlightenment and renaissance. So today on something else, I was researching the etymology of the word enlighten and the etymology of the word renaissance. And then after finding those etymologies, I went back to look up antonyms for each one of those words, right? And what occurred to me is that when I say that we're afraid of the dark, when I say that it's problematic for people who even think they're ahead of the curve to be praying for more light, it is because we still have very deeply entrenched within each one of us this idea that the dark is always synonymous with evil, with scary, with we see destruction as a bad thing. We see chaos as bad. We have still very fixed ideas. And so I'm looking up the word enlightenment, or to enlighten, and I'm looking up the word renaissance, because you remember I've asked y'all this many times. Here we are in the 2020s, and in the 1920s was the height of the Harlem Renaissance, and I kept saying, what's the new renaissance of our age? What's the new renaissance of the 2020s? And it occurred to me today that was an inappropriate question. That's an inappropriate question. We do not need to rebirth attributes of our past. We do not need to revive attributes of the past, which both of that word in particular, Renaissance, represented. I'm not rambling, I'm making a point, right? That this energy that we're in general, and I'm not even talking about just this week, I'm talking about since 2008 in general, when Pluto entered into Capricorn. But since 2020, since January 12th of 2020, most pronounced, and even more pronounced since February 20th of 2022, when Pluto, the goddess Oya, reclaimed her seat on the motherfucking throne and has been handing us our whole ass for the last 2 years. This is really powerful energy that she controls. And so here we are, still afraid of the dark, goddess of the underworld, right? Still afraid of destruction, even though the storm that she brings always brings blessings, always brings new life. But we just scared of the destruction. We can't even imagine past the destruction, so we scared of the destruction. We're scared of the chaos. We do not look forward to the dark. We do not embrace the dark. We dare not color outside the lines to create and imagine something new. Don't do that. This shit right here says what? How is all y'all always seen? With lightning in one hand and dancing a tornado off her skirt. This shit right here says Mercury conjunct Uranus says it will be such shocking news that will bring such clarity that it will feel like lightning striking away that shit that has made you cloudy and muggy in the head. Can't move forward. What did it say? Look for this clarity to solve all your problems. All these problems that you had, you just can't navigate your way through, can't see your way through. It's this energy with this week's movement within the context of this Pluto's return that we're still in and will be in until November 19th. I was like, damn, this is powerful, right? And she's saying, have the kind of faith that moves mountains, because this energy is so magnanimous, it's so big, and we are so fortunate that it's the first time in history that it's happening. This movement this week, the first time, right? And so, hey, Balance, thank you. Balance has been a member for 3 months. Thank you for the reminder. Right? So anyway, every big event that's happened, and it's been back to back. I know these first 6 months of this year have been handed everybody they have been handed everybody they shit. This first 6 months, because we 6 months in already. How we halfway through the year already, y'all? How we halfway through the, and it's just been back to 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 back. No breaks, no break, no break, no breaks. You feel me? And but it is saying of this really heavy energy to prepare with the faith that moves mountains, because these upsurges, these upward surges of energy that we're experiencing that guarantee the transition from decay. Because what we're witnessing, child, what we are experiencing. I say it all the time. What we are experiencing is what? The destruction of, the decay of, the leveling of the old institutions that have held the whole of humanity hostage. But because we are so invested in the systems of our oppression, we internalize the urgency of those who rule us as something that we should be fearful of. We see the destruction of America, the decay of America, sure enough, the rebellion against the Constitution and everything it stands for, that part, and we become fearful, and don't see it as something that we should be joyous about, that we should welcome. We don't see it as that, because the only frame of reference that we have is the shit that has been spoon fed to us that always has worked against our interest. She's saying right here, whether she knew it or not, this energy that these movements this week is bringing, that's going to be with us for some time. Welcome the upward urges or surges of energy. When you see the destruction, when you see America take a hit, when you see America get its jaw jacked, you feel me? When you see some politician get his ass handed to him, you should revel in that. You should be joyous in that, because you recognize this is a beneficial destruction. That's a quote. This is a beneficial destruction. This is the heavy experiences necessary, because they always have, this is a quote, a positive outcome. The heavy experiences that guarantee a positive outcome. What does she say? Knowing that this moment in history that is defined by chaos can only give birth as, what does she say right here? Changing the decay to fertilizer. You can't seed the future without having fertile ground to seed it in. You feel me? She said the decay become the decay of the old, the decay of the structures of the old, the decay of the goddamn institutions of old. But that shit has to happen simultaneously. You feel me? The decay, the destruction of the chaos in. What did I tell y'all a few weeks ago? The perpetual wrenches that we toss up into the machinery of the matrix, you feel me, is what gives rise to the fertile ground through which the new world can be seeded. That's our work to do, is to seed the new world. But our simultaneous work is to ensure the chaos, to ensure the heavy experiences, to ensure the destruction. That's the work. All societies have a beginning, a middle, and an end. America is definitely in its final act. Motherfucking right. It's dead and don't even know it yet. It's dead and don't even know it yet. Right? So anyway, I thought that was powerful. You feel me? Yes. So those were the big takeaways. She was saying, one, put your hands in something. create something, like in the material realm, right? Create something. She said she said, as a matter of fact, the artisan part, you have to nourish the artisan part of your life this week. Yellow Rose girl, I was just thinking about you today. I ain't seen you around in a hot minute. I thought I scared you off because I be doing that. People that I grow an affinity for up on here. You feel me? I say something. I don't know. I just be saying what I say. You feel me? I say something. I don't see him again. I'm like, damn, I done pissed him off. Oh well, damn, I hate it. You feel me? But I'm glad to see you here. Let's see. Second kick out by YouTube membership. I paid for premium. This is interesting. Second kick out. What's the kick out by YouTube? What? What are you saying, Balance? They kicked you out of my membership? Email me and explain to me what's going on, because I didn't realize that. That's weird. Okay. So that's it on that. Okay. That's a little notes. But I would encourage each of you to go watch that video, because I'm gonna have to check into that, because I don't understand that, and I'm still so new with the monetization. Let's see. Oh, okay. I feel you, Yellow Rose. Nah, baby, it's been heavy. I mean, it's been heavy. I'll be honest. Okay. But anyway, go on there, because she does a breakdown of each and every sign, what this energy looks like this week. So I put that in the comment section. What these movements, what these heavy hitting movements will mean for you this week, how to engage, how to prepare for these energetic moves this week, based on all three of your big triad, your sun, your moon, and your ascendant. So I encourage you, like I did, to take notes about your big three. I am a Gemini rising, so it's our month. We're just now transitioning into this into Gemini season. And you know, Geminis, we be afflicted. You feel me? We be afflicted, and typically it's around our mind. It's around how easy it is for us to fall face forward into wormholes. And I am triply afflicted, because of all the signs, the four big signs that are most afflicted by, quote, overthinking and doing too many deep dives. I have three of the four: Virgo sun, Capricorn moon, Gemini rising, and then the last one I think was Libra. Those are the four signs afflicted with, quote, thinking too much. I'm afflicted with three of the four. You feel me? So y'all know why I'm crazy. You understand? Now y'all know why I be contemplating a million things at one time. You feel me? So anyway, that's that. There are some other things I wanted to talk to y'all about really quick, and I think I'm gonna end this in the 7 minutes. It'll be the first time in a long time I've done a video that was really just an hour long, but I think I'm gonna do that. Something else that happened this weekend. I can imagine. So what's your moon? Nikki, she said she is a Gemini and an Aquarius. Ooh. So what's your moon, girl? All this air in your shit. What's your moon, Nikki? Anyway, yeah. So what I'm saying is I had to teach. Some of y'all watched. I had to do a little workshop. Girl, that is radical. You have an Aquarius sun and an Aquarius moon and a Gemini rising. Oh shit. Yo. Okay. you should call and get a reading. If you need a reading, just shameless plug, email me at releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. Email me at releaseheartcenter@gmail.com if you need a reading or a complete wellness consultation. So anyway, there's a couple things I want to tell you. First, I want to tell you about this workshop that I did. Please stretch it out like life. I don't understand what you asking me, Balance. What you asking me? Please, X is a Gemini. I like to cross boundaries. Libra, Sun, Pisces, Moon. So let me tell y'all. Before I forget 2 things. Ooh, I already forgot the second thing. God damn it. 2 things. So I did that workshop on what was it called? It was like Unveiling the Mysteries of the 5 Elements for Optimal Health. That was a workshop that I did with this nonprofit called Critical Mass Dance Company. That was dope. I'm still trying to refine it because I always find that I never have enough time in one workshop to get the information to people that I think is most important for them to understand. And but it was really cool. It was a really good event, a lot of little serendipitous moments in that workshop. And I'm going to be doing more of that. I have another workshop that I'm teaching this Wednesday to 34 teenagers, but it's a jewelry workshop. And whenever I do the jewelry workshops, it's about like making jewelry in a reciprocal relationship with the earth. That's always how I teach it. So I teach kids, the importance of like wild crafting, like going out into nature and finding things in nature that you can wild craft to make your jewelry, right? In the wild crafting always give something to the earth before taking something from the earth. So I always teach that I keep like a bag of tobacco and a bag of cornmeal in the car, and I will make offerings to the earth before I like go on a trail to collect pine cones or whatever. And then how to clean, process, and assemble jewelry that you make from this harmonious relationship with the earth. Boom, there you go, right? So I'll be teaching that Wednesday. Then I have another workshop that I'm teaching up at this retreat center in Big Bear. That's in July. So I'm mentioning this because y'all have heard me say many, many times, I am looking for my brain. I am looking for my experiences to take over how I'm able to earn a living. I am trying to remove my hands from human beings. I will still do treatments, but it'll be a lot different than the way I do it now. I may do treatments once a month for a day and charge a lot of money because I'm not going to be doing this. I'm not going to be doing the, sorry, boo. I'm sorry, baby. Told y'all they always be up under my feet. Hey, boo, come here, girlie. So I'm not going to be doing that way. And so I feel like this recent influx of requests for me to speak at, events and to facilitate workshops is kind of like finally the breakthrough that's coming for me to be able to do that. Right. So I wanted to share that with y'all because this has been a good 2 weeks of that. And I still have 3 more workshops, at least that are currently planned to do. Okay. To do that. Okay. So thank you for that. If you've been, putting out conspiracies on my behalf to ensure that be the case, right on, it is working. Right. The other thing that I wanted to mention, there is a dude. I might have to talk about him the next time. There's a guy I want y'all to check out. What is this dude's name, man? He calls himself AMMON. 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 And he is a PhD, like anthropologist or archaeologist or something like that. And I just saw this video in passing, chat. It was called Medea, Medea, Medusa, Medusa, and what do he have? Medea, Medusa, and something else. But it's an interview that this one guy is doing of this dude who's a PhD archaeologist. He is fluent in Greek and he reads Latin and all of this shit, right? No, AMMON. AMMON, right? And the let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Shoot. There's another YouTube channel. Oh, okay. So there's another dude. His name is called the Gnostic Informant. The Gnostic Informant. Gnostic Informant. And so yeah. Okay, so the Gnostic Informant has interviewed this guy several times. It's Medea. So what he's saying, short version. I'm gonna see if I can find the link. Short version. What this guy is saying was so fascinating. This I'm probably gonna do a deep dive on. But he was saying Medea, right, was from Libya, though she is always cited as living in Georgia. She was not Georgian, she was Libyan. And she was an actual woman. And he was saying that most of his career, he had been studying archaeology the way all archaeologists / anthropologists study, is again in their lane, in that section, never coloring outside the lines. He said he had a mentor, an elder, who told him, if you want to understand the gaps in history, especially in the Mediterranean, Greece, and all them places, he said, you have to put aside the primary thought and education. He said, you have to study ancient medicine. The stories that the gaps will be filled by studying the ancient medicinal texts of these regions, right? I was like, damn. So anyway, he talks about Medea as he talks about medicine. And so this woman from Libya was this world-renowned healer. He said before the Greeks even started writing epics about Homer and the Iliad and the Odyssey and all these great epics, they were writing about her before they ever wrote about any of these dudes, right? She was world-renowned for her ability to heal. And two of the main attributes of her healing remedies was she frequently used snake venom in her remedies. And the secret ingredient, no matter what the herbs were, no matter what the venom was, the secret, quote, active ingredient of her remedies, y'all, was her orgasmic ejaculate. Yep. Y'all didn't hear what I said, because I ain't see none of that. I ain't see none of that. I ain't see no reaction to the fact that this woman, for all these years before they started, because there's a reason that the title was called Medea, Medusa, and something. right, is because the Medusa story was what the Greeks began to use after they got all the knowledge from her, or after they got all the 411 from her, after they done picked her brains all these years for all her magical remedies. Then she had too much power. You feel me? And so they started creating mythologies that made. I cannot believe this, Balance. What the fuck? Damn. This is crazy. Is anybody else getting kicked out? No, I'm gonna have to find out what's going, because are you, and you're watching from YouTube? Everybody's watching from YouTube. Yeah, I don't see anybody from Twitch, and Facebook wasn't letting me post. That yeah, everybody's. Is anybody else on YouTube having a problem where they're being kicked off the live? It's freaking crazy. I'm gonna have to figure it out after we get off this call. But anyway, child, listen. You feel me? They saying the secret ingredient for most of her remedies: curing leprosy, curing blindness, all of these things. She would mix some herbs. She would do some little grinding of the herbs. Talked about how she would administer like ribbons with poultices and stuff. You feel me? And then to add, so everybody else is not having an issue. Yes, Nikki, watch the ads. That's what monetization means, baby. That's the only way I get any money, is when them ads pop up and y'all watch a commercial or some shit. You feel me? Yes, ma'am, with membership and premium YouTube. It's so weird, though. Okay, so anyway, yeah, she would but you remember, this is similar to the story that we heard about in Kemet. The priestesses would masturbate after the parishioner made their offering, said, look, this is what's wrong with me, you feel me? And then they would make their offering, and then they would have to look into the vagina of the priestess that was masturbating while chanting incantations to the goddess on their behalf. You feel me? So so here this woman is from Libya, and it's interesting because as much as I Googled her today, there were so many questions, but nobody would say she was black, right? So one thing said that she was an Arab Libyan. But then if she became Medusa, if she was made the Greek mythological character of Medusa to terrorize men from not seeking her counsel in her cave, where she would turn men into stone and shit, why would she have snake hair? Right? Why would she have snake hair? So it was it wasn't a deep dive, but it was deep enough that I have decided that it's going to be a deep dive. And I don't know when, because I told you, it's been a week since I've been up on here. The spirit has been handing me my whole ass for the last, I don't know, week or so. So we shall see. Anyway, yes, balance, dear. I'm gonna have it's after I get off of here, I'll try to figure out what's going on. But there are other people that say that they are a member, and they also have premium, and they're not, nobody else is having the problems. I don't know, but I'll check and see what's up. It's not the first time you've mentioned that to me. So anyway, that was another thing. All right, so moving on. So that's just something to look forward to. I do not know. Yeah, do that. Take screenshots and email them to me. I do not know when I'm going to do another live, because I have to be practicing literally every day. I practiced so long yesterday, I felt like my arm was going to fall off. I have this concert on Thursday, and I've only been taking lessons since February. So I'm telling you, I'm a nervous wreck. I'm only playing one song, but the song is about 15 minutes long. So we shall see, but I'm going to live stream it. That I will do. I am going to live stream my first performance on the sitar this Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yes. So wish me luck. I'm a nervous wreck. But anyway, so that'll probably be the next live I do, actually, because I've been practicing a lot over the last few days. I actually took the whole week off so I could practice for this freaking concert. All right. And then, the last thing I'm gonna say, and I think I'm gonna get off of here, is last week I actually remember what the last thing that I did was. Remember last week I started reading another book to you guys. I started reading a book to you guys. Let's see. And it's called, I'm going to pick it up again. I promise. I don't want to leave y'all hanging, but it is called Beyond God the Father Towards a Philosophy of Women's Liberation by Mary Daly. And like she has this flair to do, baby, she came right out of the gate swinging. What was it? Just the first paragraph of the book? Oh, you're so sweet, Bellas. Thanks. Yeah, I'm hype about it. Yes, but she came right out the gate swinging. What was this first quote she said right in chapter 1? Was it overcoming? No, it wasn't overcoming methodology. What was it? Yeah, but I can already tell this book is gonna be it's gonna be one of those where we have to have our wigs fastened tightly if we expect to keep them. Okay, so she says in the very first, this is a quote. Let's see. When you are criticizing the philosophy of an epoch, do not chiefly direct your attention to those intellectual positions which its exponents feel it necessary explicitly to defend. There will be some fundamental assumptions which adherents of all the various systems within the epoch unconsciously presuppose. Such assumptions appear so obvious that people do not know what they are assuming because no other way of putting things has ever occurred to them. Okay. What did I just say when I was talking about this reading? What did I just say when I was talking about this reading? The energy of this reading, the energy of this week, and the alignments of this week, right? Not fearing decay, not fearing destruction, not fearing the heavy experiences, stepping boldly into the chaos, knowing that only good comes from it. What? Stepping into and embracing the heavy experiences because they always have a positive outcome, right? Knowing that the destruction of what is always beneficial, and that the decay of the old is the fertilizer to seed the new. That's what she's saying right here. She said we so caught up in the current epoch that it doesn't even occur to us to put things in another way, to see things in another way, to imagine the radically new. Remember when I said an hour ago that I was researching today the etymology of Renaissance, the etymology of enlighten, and I was looking for the antonyms for those two words, and it occurred to me that the antonyms, the opposite energy tied to these two words, is deep and dark and dark energy. And what did it say? Oblivion. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's the shit we need to lean into. We live in the personification of the age of the desert. We live right now in the age of utmost yang. What we should be praying for when subdued by the desert, when oppressed by the light, man. Oh my God. Oh, 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 oh. Hold on. Listen. Yo. Let me tell you. When we are oppressed by the light. Remember this song? I know I'm so random, but remember my affliction, as I am afflicted with 3 of these signs that have the bad habit of overthinking. Okay? So just bear with me. Remember that song from the 1970s called Blinded by the Light? Blinded by the light. Y'all remember that? That's what I just thought about. What happens when you're blind? Right? But we're being blinded by light. We're being blinded by light. We're being oppressed by the light. And when you are oppressed by the light, when you are thirsty, when you are sweating, when your skin is being burned at high noon in the middle of the desert with no oasis in sight. What is the oasis? All things yin. What did I tell you Lao Tzu said? In all things embrace the yin. And you in the desert at high noon, no shade, nowhere, no oasis, nowhere, no yin, nowhere. You are praying for moonrise. You are praying for the dark. You are praying for midnight. You're praying for midnight. You're praying for the condensation that comes with midnight. You're praying for the animals that you can possibly eat that come out in the night. You're praying for the night. You're praying for the dark. And this is the period we in. And so I don't talk about the light. I'm so deep with it, y'all. I'm like, how can I? Balance, girl, you hyping me up so hard. I love it. I feel like I got my own little personal cheerleading squad out here. Yes, come on in the room. Yes, I'm sitting here regularly trying to figure out how I can shift my life, like how I can shift my circadian rhythm to where I be up at night. You feel me? During the witching hour, instead of being asleep during the witching hour, I'm wide awake in the work during the witching hour as my norm, as my default. How can I keep my bills paid and do my business that you can only do during the day so that I can be up and thriving at night? I'm telling y'all. I ain't trying to get too deep on y'all, but to embrace the dark, to welcome the dark, to step both feet first confidently into the unknown, knowing that it is still better than what you know right now. We talked a little bit not too long ago about this concept. This concept of the call of the void. The call of the void. We have been imprisoned by fear, hogtied by it, subdued by it. And that has been oh my God, man, all right, balance. Let me figure you out. But yes, we have been subdued by it. You understand? It is, what was this movie I watched the other day? I don't remember. But listen, we have to start the process of weaving. We have to start the process of weaving. We have to, and I mean metaphysically, but I also mean in real time. There's so much. There's so much. There's so much I want to talk to you about. There's so much I want to teach you. There's so much that I want to have my hands in. I am aware though, and it's not a statement of fear. I am aware of who my enemy is. I am aware of how desperate they are. I am aware that when they are desperate, they are violent. I'm aware. I just told y'all a story about the damn president of Iran dying in a goddamn helicopter crash on the day that this astrological event occurred, talking about a great leader would fall from the sky due to broken wings. Like, can you be any more literal than that? Was that a cosmological accident? This Iranian president falling out of heaven because of a broken wing? Was that just, oh my God, it actually happened like that? I keep trying to tell y'all every day, what y'all call spookism and ooga booga is mathematical calculations, plotting, and planning. It's strategy. I'm convinced of it. You can't convince me otherwise. I know the state. I study the state. I study science. I study historical science. They pay attention to these allegories, these stories, these mythologies, but they use these mythologies to create mystique around them. Yes, they do. They got you believing in, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. They have you believing in their version of, quote, mystery, magic, and all of that shit. They pay attention to that which you do not and create strategies and events around those things. So you be all scared about spookism and witchy shit. Oh my God, the astrological chart said a great leader would fall out of the sky. And it was literal. Child, this was politically strategic. This wasn't spookism. This was politically strategic. That motherfucker got offed is what happened. Now, if you had me, tell it, because I know the state. Because I read history. Because I told y'all on November 11th, it never even occurred to me. But I was like, oh, I didn't even, because I don't pay attention to these holidays. So it never even occurred to me. It wasn't on my radar, right? That, oh my God, I forgot that Veterans Day is the same day as the 11/11 portal. Was that a coincidence? Hell no, it wasn't no motherfucking coincidence. The Treaty of Versailles was drafted and signed on 11/11, on November 11th at 11:11 a.m., documenting the official end of the First World War. Was that a coincidence that they did that on 11/11 in a year that broke down to the number 11? They do that. Was that an X? That's a coincidence, right? So while you don't have a clue, because you don't have a frame of reference to even pick out these things that otherwise you would call a coincidence. But these people who are fighting and have been for a good 2,000 years now to maintain a stranglehold on the commodities of the world, which is you and me. We are the commodities of the world, right? To maintain a stranglehold on us, Wipe clean your mysteries. Wipe clean your memory of the mysteries, of your sciences, of your stories, of your culture. That would give you hints and clues about how to evolve, how to move forward, how to change your conditions, how to destroy your enemy. That's what your mythologies would teach you. That's what your history would teach you. That's what your culture would teach you. That's what your spiritual traditions would teach you if you had access to them. And so for some time now, you and your memory have been wiped clean of all that is you, all that defines you. And so you hear astrology and you blow it off, or you act really arrogant and dismissive for those of us who actually pay attention. These things, the other guys I was telling you about, the astrology report guys, going over 3,000 years of human history, and the astrological and astronomical movements and alignments that always guarantee certain energy potentials that become echoes if not addressed. How is that any different than what a psychologist will tell you about your own mental health? That if some shit happens to you when you're 3 years old and you don't have therapy and you don't have medicine and you don't have herbs and you don't have a support system and you don't have support groups to help shift the energetic impact of that traumatic event on your life, there will be echoes of that event happen over your lifetime, every few years, every 5 years, every 10 years. This echo will occur begging to be resolved until it's finally resolved or your ass is dead. So you can believe it about you and your mental health. You can believe it when a psychologist tells you that shit doesn't go away. Those contradictions do not go away if left unaddressed. You might bury them a little bit, but they come back up. You might bury them a little while longer, but they come back up. How is this any different from our relationship to heaven, our relationship to one another in the world, our relationship to the body of the mother with which we inhabit, and our impact on her? How is this any different? How is it hard for y'all to believe that? But you can believe a psychologist when they tell you, baby, you have to address the trauma of your past if you expect to evolve. You have to resolve through therapy, through actual intervention, those things that will create echoes in your life that only sharpen and deepen and worsen until they are resolved. That's it. Astrology teaches us the same thing, that right now in human history, we are primely positioned more than we have been probably in about 6,000 years to take command of our collective life. I'm not just talking about individuals. I'm talking about human beings actually being able to shape and guide the future of humanity. We have that opportunity right now, more than we ever have, because now we know. We have ready, instant access to everything we need to know. Every strategy, every skill, every historical event that can help to inform us of these echoes so that we can be ahead and shifted in another direction instead of being drugged along by fate and shit. That's not how that works. And that's why our opposition has been running motherfucking circles around us, getting you to believe that the sciences your ancestors left you are some ooga booga, insignificant, unimportant occurrences, while that is one of the primary strategies they use to keep you captive and hogtied and blind as the day is long. I'm just telling you what it is. I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you what it is. I told y'all 4 years ago, the exact words were, we have to be ready to stage a contest for the minds of human beings, especially here in the United States, but not exclusively. Because what we are seeing is them priming us through modern media, priming us to accept the increase of aggressions against women, I said that 4 years ago, verbatim. We are being primed to accept violence. We're being primed to accept an increase in violence against women. Everything that we're watching on TV is priming us to be okay when we see violent acts happen against women. Here we are. In the United States, there has been a 39% increase in violence against women since COVID, since 2020. Where's the public outcry? Where are the demonstrations in the streets? There were 77,000 Black women and girls that went missing in 1 year last year. 77,000 Black women and girls disappeared off the streets of the United States in a year. No major demonstrations, no marches on Washington and shit, no student campus lockdowns and protests about the aggressions and the attacks on Black female bodies in this country. 77,000 in a year. Crickets. But for the last decade, we have been watching entertainment that has been priming us to accept the violence, the increase in the coming planned strategic increase of violence against women in this country. And lo and behold, what happens 2 years ago? The overturning of Roe versus Wade. And lo and behold, what happens 2 years ago? The doing away with affirmative action. And we do not see this as strategic attacks on femaleness in the United States. Well, not just the United States. I just did a whole 2-hour damn thing for y'all on the 4B movement and why the circumstances for women in South Korea are so dire that they literally have to put on lockdown the whole country. Can't nobody, we ain't having no sex with men. We ain't having no babies with men. We ain't marrying men. You understand? And we ain't dating men. Because this shit don't make no damn sense that y'all can't even go to jail for killing us, but y'all want us to post up and have y'all babies. 59% of the murder victims in South Korea are murdered by their partners. 59%, y'all, are married by their intimate partners and spouses. Of all the murders committed in South Korea, 82% of them are women. Child, 82% are women. You understand? And that's across the board, by the way. That's not just the United States. The statistics across every major country that is polled, or the statistics are drawn, there has been a sharp and radical increase in the violence against women since the advent of COVID. How this shit is not the central issue everywhere on earth is beyond me. There was a 17,000 death increase in 4 years in the United States. 17,000 more women murdered from 2017 to 2020 or something? 2017 to 2020 or 2021? 17,000. Y'all. And we do not see that every problem on earth has, not as some peripheral issue, not as some back burner issue, not as a quote side note issue. Every issue identifiable as a problem for Earth and all her inhabitants are tied centrally to the oppression of women. This is what it is. Give me a minute to figure it out, but I guarantee you, I can promise you, I can find out how the murder of 54 million sharks in the goddamn oceans is directly tied to the oppression of women. God damn it. You understand? Yeah. So that's the issue of the day. And that's why the mother has been handing us our asses. That's why y'all up on my page. That's how you found my page, is through her. That's how you found my page. That's how you can hear Mary Daly, though she has been transitioned for almost a decade. That's why she resonates with you so much, even though she wrote this book in 1979. You feel me? That's why with Pure Love, she wrote it in 1983. The Great Cosmic Mother, they wrote that in 1987. And it resonates with you like it was written yesterday. The mother's call is through these mediums. The mother's call is through us. This is what I meant earlier when I said we got to begin weaving. You understand? That's the weaving, Mary Daly. That's the weaving. Barbara Moore. That's the weaving. We women, we melanated women in groups together, solving the problems of the world while simultaneously centering our joy, our relaxation, our rest, our pleasure, our genius simultaneously. You feel me? So anyway, anybody got anything they would like to say? Because I can put the little thing, what is it? The little invite thing in the I can do that right now. If you want to come on and say something to me, I'll give us 10 minutes. I'm gonna give us 10 minutes. I'm gonna put the little code in the comment section. There you go. And all you got to do is follow that link and it'll tell you how I can come on. If you want to ask me a question, you want to make a comment, you want to share something quick, you're welcome to do that. But I know this was kind of, oh my God. Hey, boo. Hey, Will, honey, when you leaving? We got to link up this week. We got to link. When you leaving? But yes, so that was what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. Maybe I can do a live tomorrow. Okay, cool. Let's link like soon. I can do a live tomorrow and say a little bit more. I'm probably going to watch Astrology Report and see what they have to say about the week. They're, like I said, they're much more studious about it in terms of like historical significance. So I'll see what they have to say about this week. But the general theme, again, of this week, this power up week that is entitled The First in a Lifetime, Jupiter, Pluto, Aquarian, Air Trine, which represents faith that can move mountains, whose energy we will be squarely up the fuck in until June 9th of 2025. These are the takeaways, especially for this Thursday. So that's the general thing that she talked about the most. This Thursday is your big, massive, be deliberate, be strategic. You know what I'm saying? If that's a day you want to do ceremony, I think I'm going to eat a fistful of mushrooms or some shit. You feel me? Be strategic, be deliberate, pay attention to the signs. That's what she says. While you're dreaming, while you're watching the news, if you get a call, it is going to be information. That's what she says about this Mercury conjunct Uranus on Thursday. It is going to be news, Mercury. It is going to be a message, Mercury, that comes swiftly and divinely to clear out the noise, to bring clarity that solves problems. This can be in your personal life, but it can be in this grand scheme of things we're trying to make happen in the world. Oh, there was something else she said. Where was that? Oh, when she talked about the energy of conquest, victory, and winning that is typically malevolent, but because of the energy that it's occurring in, that is partnered with faith, idealism, and power moves, right? That's the whole Pluto thing, right? And then the Jupiter energy is the faith. It's the idealism. It's the ability to say, okay, I have this much faith, but I can move this whole mountain out of the way. That's the Jupiterian energy, partnered with the Pluto energy, which is about power, which is about change, which is about revolution. But her revolution always comes through what? Decay, destruction, heavy experiences, and chaos, all of which are beneficent destruction, decay that is transformed to fertilizer that seeds the future. Heavy experiences that always have a positive outcome, and the good that always grows from chaos. This is the power that we have to wield. And the problem is because the noise of media, this information from Mercury and how we interpret and internalize it, because the news has deliberately been garnering and harnessing fear for us, fear from us, it becomes so burdensome and so heavy that we cannot think about the faith to move mountains. That's not the energy we sitting in. Now we have to. Now we can be sitting in that energy because now we know cosmologically the whole goddamn universe has put itself forward to rally on our behalf. Here you have an energy, this fixed star Altair, the eye of the eagle, which is said to always be malevolent. It's always supposed to be this heavy, malevolent energy that is centered in war and top-down war on the powerless and shit. But because of its position in this Jupiter trine Pluto, that energy, the Jupiter trine Pluto, has literally flipped the significance. So you've got the victory in the winning aspect, but now on the behalf of the victimized, now wielding power to the powerless. That's what that means. That's why they keep the shit from you. That's what that means. This energy is literally saying, destroy what oppresses to ensure that the decay of the destruction becomes the fertilizer through which you feed your future. Step both feet forward confidently into the destruction that you see, knowing that the only outcome can be positive because of this alignment, because of this first in a lifetime event that is unfolding on Thursday. Never happened. It's never happened. An astrological event that's never happened. She says it's never happened in Gemini. I was like, damn, that's amazing. What does this mean for me as a Gemini? I'm always thinking, like, I'm already plotting, baby. I'm trying to chart the course for every minute this week, right? We are witnessing magnanimous, humongous, monumental, once in a lifetime events every year since 2017. Every year since 2017, big ass event after big. Oh my God, this hasn't happened in 300 years. Oh my God, this hasn't happened in 500 years. Oh my God, this hasn't happened in 2000 years. How many times are we hearing that now? We are positioned in a period in human history where the universe itself, and I'm not talking about in an esoteric way, I'm talking about the planets themselves, are kicking in the doors to say, okay, it's that time. We done made our way around the sun, baby. It's about that time. We didn't listen. The Earth on her spring equinox has circled the whole universe for the first time in 25,000 years, and we are right square up in it to witness it. That shit is amazing. We live in a period in human history that generations will never experience. We're stepping into a whole new galactic year, the beginning and the simultaneous end. The beginning and the simultaneous end of an age at the same time as the beginning and the simultaneous ending of a new 25,000 year, a great year. This is exciting, and it should be. And that's why the noise is so loud. That's why the war is increasing. That's why the violence is increasing. We are literally witnessing the actual real-time death of 6,000 years of oppression levied upon the heads of human beings, stripping people of their God identity and turning God into slaves, into commodities for the few. We are witnessing that. That's why the noise is so prolific. That is why the noise is creating such despair, because people do not have the information that could free them from that shit. They don't. And everything becomes the issue but the issue. Everything becomes the issue but the issue. So this is a really powerful thing that happened, because I'll be honest, I wasn't preparing to do no live today. I wasn't preparing to do no live. I wasn't preparing to even study no astrology. I had my little spa music playing, and up in the rotation, she got on here talking about, listen, this is a big money move this week. This is a most what do you call it? What is the word? Auspicious. This is a most auspicious week. This is a most auspicious week. That if you're gonna make strategic moves for your life, if you're gonna make, she even talked about churches. She said churches, religious institutions, spiritual institutions. This is a prime opportunity to make big demands of the universe for your institutions or for your work. was like, okay, she talking straight to me. You understand? Can we go ahead and manifest an actual temple for the temple? Like, can we do that this week? Like, can we create this conspiracy that officially catapults the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence into a wonderful institution with a building? And you know how every one of these ugly ass churches got them big lit crosses on the top? We got a big ass serpent. Let me show y'all. So our logo to y'all. A big ass Ouroboros with a cosmic egg up in the middle, made out of metal and lit for people to see from miles around. Y'all see that little logo right up there? Let's see if I can get my finger. There you go. See that little logo right there of the Ouroboros and the cosmic egg with all the radical potential of creation that exists within it. Like, let's set this shit off. Let's go ahead and say that this the week. This the week to do it. The faith to move mountains, to step into the dark, to embrace destruction, chaos, and decay, knowing, not believing, not having faith in, knowing that the outcome is guaranteed to be beneficial. Stepping into chaos, praying for the dark, welcoming the dark. This is the week. So I may do a live tomorrow after I watch Astrology Report, see what they talk about, what we should be paying attention to in the week and the potential for the week. But yes. So the last thing I'll say is get rest. Get rest. Try to keep it lighthearted. Keep your vibe, your energy lighthearted. If it means that you need to turn off the news, that's okay. If it means that you have to listen to only upbeat, uplifting music, that's okay. If it means that you feel the need to embrace your rage, that too is okay. If it means that the way that you get what you need from this week is to have multiple orgasms, I say right all the way the fuck on. Right on. I just told y'all a story all the way at the beginning about Medea and how the secret to all remedies successful in the practice of her Sibylline magical medicinal practices, the magic ingredient was her healing orgasmic ejaculate. So if it means multiple orgasms for you this week, baby, right on. More power to you. Yes, I'm with it. I'm with it. You feel me? Yes. And this whole concept of being oppressed by the light, being oppressed by the light, being blinded by the light, being blinded by the light of media, being blinded by false illumination known as the screen, false illumination. That's some powerful shit. I got so much more to say, but that's it for tonight. That might be the next topic of discussion. It might be the call of the void or oppressed by the light. I might just be snarky and call it blinded by the light. That's what I'm gonna do. But anyway, yeah, I'll do another one tomorrow. And yes, isn't that something, Nikki? Let me post your comment. Isn't that something? Here the light done handed us our whole ass for about 6,000 years. We done placed the sun in the center of everything and can't figure out what the hell is wrong with us. And we still pray for the light. Well, we got to pray for the light or we'll be overcome by the darkness. But the light has been responsible for our despair. Well, yes, it has. The light has been responsible for our oppression. The light has been responsible for the decimation of the planet. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. All right. So thank you guys for participating. Maybe I'll shut up sooner. Yes. Hecate, she the one. I told y'all, she the one. You understand? I love her. So I'll next time what I think I'll do is I'll shut it down like maybe a little early and maybe give y'all 30 minutes to get up on here and rap with me or ask any questions that you may have. For those of you that are tuning in late, I'm Cassandra Floyd, also known as the Daughter of the Fates, founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. If you are interested in Tajali, you don't feel bamboozled, baby. We done all been there. We done all been there. Like, damn, everything I learned in my whole life was a lie, baby. Believe me, I done been there. We done all been there. Forward motion, baby. Evolution only. Evolution only. You get the information exactly when it's meant for you to get it and evolve. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. So, if you need to get a divination, if you need to schedule a divination session with me, you can email me at releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. If you are interested more in getting a complete wellness consult, I don't talk about it often, but you guys know I'm a healer. If you need to get a complete wellness, Tajali, bless your heart, baby. But this is the learning. You understand? I'm about to post your comment. I love it. I feel you. I feel you. You understand? For those of you on IG, the sister said, got me out here calling myself a light worker. Yes. Now you know. And once you know, guess what? You can shift accordingly so that the knowing becomes wisdom. So, yes, wellness consultation, which is a 1-hour session with a complete write-up of your intake, which would include your herbs or any herbs or nutraceuticals that you would need to be on, an analysis of any blood work that you may have that you can send me, and nutritional dietary recommendations, right? So that being said, I'm out. I've got shit to do, and I will see you all tomorrow. All right. Take care. Thanks for joining. This was fun. Peace.